Oh, wow, we're seeing people. Now, can you all hear me? Welcome,
Hmm.
everybody, to the Kids for Kids Christmas concert. Isn't this exciting? Do you know, I was just thinking how Kids for Kids brings people in from across the world, across the country, across continents. It's absolutely extraordinary. The only sadness is that actually we don't get anyone from Sudan. Isn't that a pity? It's just their internet is just too bad. I'm just seeing who's coming in. Lisa was the first person I saw from Australia. I dread to think what time that is. You're ringing us from Australia, but in fact, you've been to the concert already.
I have. Good morning, everyone. Oh, hello. I have. It's 5 o'clock over here, by the way, in the morning. And I was lucky enough to come over and stay with Patricia and attend a concert, and I loved every single moment of it. It was just
Fantastic.
beautiful. I'm very lucky.
Wonderful. Now let's,
Great
I
to see you,
mentioned
Lisa. And
this
I'm going
some,
to add a spotlight for Liz. Exactly. Lisa, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Liz is one of
I
our
thought we were
trustees.
set up
Liz,
Liz,
to
something,
welcome.
there
mute.
you go. Liz,
Hello,
welcome.
it
Do
was so
audio,
lovely to
so I'm
meet
sorry.
Lisa. And in spite of travelling all the way from Australia, she worked her socks off all evening at the Kids Carol concert.
That's the gorgeous thing about everybody, that the night before our concert at St. Peter's, they had a concert for, I won't name the charity, and everybody who worked for it was somebody paid, and the staff of the church, who were actually volunteers, said, there's one concert only that we look forward to at St. Peter's, and they have, I think, 14. Um, because it's the one where everybody makes such a difference. And at the end of the concert, they came to me and said, the decorations you did in the church were just magical. It's all by us volunteers. It's absolutely amazing. So it's enormous fun. And Liz, thank you so much for guarding the money. That was a major job. So thank you so much. Now,
Yeah.
who do we see? Oh, I see another volunteer over there, Trisha Picking. Trisha, welcome. Now,
Hello.
Trisha lives just down the road from me, actually. Trisha, how are you enjoying Kids for Kids?
Oh, isn't it wonderful? I'm so admiring of you, and I'm so looking forward to this evening and
Trisha,
tomorrow.
you were fantastic at the mailing when I had 12 people on 2 days, so 24 people all in all. You all, I hope you all got our mailing this year.
Yes.
Everyone was lovingly put in place by a volunteer. So, Trisha,
Brilliant.
thank you, and everybody else who did that. It was
Pleasure.
amazing. Now, I do see over here Joanna and Jeremy Heal. Now, they are the parents of our fantastic soprano this year. Your daughter, really, Bibi, has taken my breath away. Everybody, you have to wait to hear Bibi's Mozart. Honestly, I've never heard it better. And remember, I don't know if you know, but I used to do public relations for the proms and the BBC Symphony Orchestra. So I heard the top musicians, frankly, in the world. And honestly, I truly mean, I don't think that Mozart could have been done better. Um, Jeremy and Joanna, they also live in Dorking, so we're a little Dorking clan tonight. Alistair, we can't hear you. Are you
Keep doing
saying?
that.
Are you? Were you saying anything, Alistair? No, I can see Alistair. Alistair, as you probably know, is in Albania.
Yeah. Hello,
And by
everyone.
the
But mummy, let's bring in Joanna and Jeremy.
oh, please.
Oh, has it arrived? Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
there you are, Jeremy. Yes, excellent.
Hello, yes. Well, we were very disappointed not to be able to get to the concert because of the train strike.
Ah, you
We
know, luckily we did get John Cope, because the next day was their strike coming up from Bath. So,
Yeah.
I
Really
mean,
sorry
just
about
terrible.
that.
oh,
What a
Oh, I'm really
timing.
sorry.
oh, it was so
Well,
annoying.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't do the journey because somebody did come from Surrey, and I think it took them something like 4 hours to get there. And they were really, it was awful, cold and wet and beastly. So that wasn't a good day. But Joanna, you were very brave when I said to you I'd written to Bibi to ask her. I didn't want to ask you and put you in an embarrassing position. So I was absolutely thrilled that Bibi came. I
It's
mean, just
amazing.
stunned. By the way, it wasn't just singing for us. Bibi has done the most amazing fundraising in her church. She even got a goat into the church. Now, I have to tell you, I've just seen someone who's very special to me, and you may have caught sight of her. My little 3-year-old granddaughter, Erin. Douglas, hello, darling. This is my younger son, Douglas.
Hi there, Mum. Say hi
Hello,
to Judy.
darling. Hi. Hello, Erin.
Hi,
Lovely to see you.
Erin.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Doug.
And Erin, congratulations
Where are you
wearing
sitting at the
red.
moment?
Really lovely to see you. Where are you?
We're out at Things Happen Here. The boys are doing Kung Fu upstairs, so if you hear any big bangs, it'll be them flying around the room.
Good heavens. Yeah. Having
Hello.
boys and a girl is wonderful. It really is. You
And
know,
we've got other family who've joined as well. My father and stepmother, I think, from Scotland. I don't know if they're able to come on camera.
are you shaming them into it, Alistair?
I don't know if Sue can.
Well, Scotland is the bit of the back of beyond, isn't it? You know, we can get a video from Australia, but not from Scotland.
No, we've got a different Sue. Sorry, I got the wrong Sue. Apologies.
Oh.
But that's fine.
Oh dear, oh dear.
But Sue,
Actually,
do come in.
where is she? Is she going to?
I don't know.
Can't see her. What I was going to do was to ask Davina, Alistair. I think we ought to ask Davina to introduce herself to everybody, because Davina has joined us this year and is my deputy, and the poor girl has a very rough time. Davina, over to you.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much, Patricia. It's been wonderful, Patricia. It's nearly 6 months now of me joining, and it's been a pleasure.
You're still smiling, which relief. Or is that the glass of prosecco that's at your elbow? I happen to know it's there. But,
We don't need to talk about that.
well, we have a lot of fun actually. Where's Charlotte? Is Charlotte going to allow me to introduce? Can you see her, Alistair? There's Charlotte. Yes,
Yes,
Charlotte. Come on, spotlight Charlotte. Can you do that?
Hi
Charlotte,
there,
say
everyone.
hello to everybody. There
Hi
you
there.
go.
I've got my glass of mulled wine.
Quite right.
As everybody else.
Very good.
Lovely to see you all.
Excellent. Yes, make sure if you don't, do get a drink.
You can see why we all get on. We have our priorities in the right place, which is really.
Now, Mummy, we have
good
some
fun.
other special people who have joined as well, which are some of our previous trustees. So I see Liz Owen as well.
Liz, well, I had a feeling that Liz wouldn't want to say anything. Liz, am I wrong?
I'm right, you are. We're tucked down in our Devon Lane in peace and tranquility, looking forward to the concert.
Well, you're in peace and
Liz, you've
tranquility
been
because you
such a
didn't see me.
stalwart.
I've lost you.
Yeah.
I was
You
just
didn't
saying
see
you've
me
been-
last weekend. Now we have a very great excitement. Lovely Bibi Heal is actually about to join us. Have we let her in?
We'll do that in just a moment, Mummy. But just before we do that, I just also wanted to see if we could get David Jordan on the screen as well. David and Anne.
David is a former trustee and a long-standing
Anne,
friend.
pretending to be David. Anne, hello. We should need to go get him, maybe. But it's very nice to have former trustees continuing to support so long after having spent so much energy on Kids for Kids.
For many years, actually. David saw us through thick and thin, so that's been extremely good.
And while we do that, I'm going to see if we can get anyone else from the family to join us. Oh, here's David himself.
Here's David. David, we're saying welcome. And well done for sticking with us after all these years.
Well done, Anne, going and getting him.
Can you unmute, David?
There we are, unmuted.
Well done.
Yes,
Well done.
it's good to
Long
see you all.
time. Lovely to see you.
Well, I hope you're going to enjoy the concert. You've been to many of our concerts.
I'm sure I will. Yes, it'll be great.
I'm sure it'll be great. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I actually, every year, people come to me at the end of the church and say, oh, this was the best ever. Because always the atmosphere is wonderful. But actually, I think this is about the first time I've said, this really is the best ever. There was something magical about the audience, about the volunteers, and then about the coverage of the music, the fun music, the serious message that came across. You know, Lord Cope, John Cope, and when you see what he says, he's reading Christmas in the Trenches. And Jamila, his wife, said to me, you know, this has meant an awful lot to John, because his father was in those actual trenches. So when you hear him reading, do think about that and the importance of that, of the message in that reading. I think it's one of the most important in the concert, actually. So that's important. Now, can we find Bibi, please? Can somebody spot Bibi? I know she came in. She is. Bibi, what? Bibi, I've been singing your praises. You know, I just can't get, I'm dying to listen to your Mozart again. Absolutely fabulous. Everybody, I must warn you, because Bibi also had a spoken word section. She didn't have a mic that the people who were making the video could pick up. So when you might want to turn up the sound when the recording starts so that you can hear properly, because you really don't want to miss one word of what Bibi is saying. Bibi, over to you.
Well, I haven't heard it. I'm in the dark. I remember definitely speaking out loud. So if it looks as though I'm miming in the concert, I was not. But
no. In the concert, it was fine. In the church, it was fine. It was merely the positioning of the mics for the recording. So from our point of view, if you just turn up your sound on your laptop or on your whatever you're looking at, we won't miss a word, and we mustn't. And rather to paraphrase you, no.
Well, yes, I was perhaps a slightly naughty child myself during the concert, because I promised faithfully that before the French song I would put the microphone in the right place to pick up, and then at the end of it I would put it back, which I did not. And then he snuck on and did it, but then for the Mozart I didn't do it at all. So I'm sorry if I've stuffed up the levels, but live is live.
Perhaps, Bibi, we have to think of that as a rehearsal, and you should come and do the proper performance next year.
Yes, great, brilliant. Happy to.
And next time, Bibi will do the microphones for you.
Yes,
that makes
thank
sense.
you.
Yes, you shouldn't have to do your own. Actually, that sort of thing is really very difficult for a performer, because you're concentrating on what you're doing, and you shouldn't have to think about other things like that. I mean, honestly, I get utterly terrified before I give my address at the concert, because it's so important to me to speak up for the children of Darfur. And I know that doing our concert meant a huge amount to you, because you know Africa, and you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the children in Darfur. So, you know, it makes it even harder to perform, actually, because one's heart is there.
Yes.
You know, you're not standing at a distance.
No, exactly that. And you mind very much about all of the details, which makes it all the more difficult to split your head into 6 different directions.
So to have to think about a mic was really over the top.
Well, I'm sure it's not that difficult for people who use mics all the time, but as an opera singer, we have the pleasure of never having to use them. So it's,
yes,
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Bibi, it's lovely having you. And Mummy, I'm going to say we're just coming up to 1:45. So rather than carrying on the conversation now, people do stay on at the end if you can, because we will continue hopefully to have drinks and a little bit of conversation. And some of you who haven't had a chance to speak yet will hopefully be able to. But I'd just like to say it's really lovely to see some other family, cousins and my aunt on the line, my mother's sister, Diana, welcome, and various other friends from all over the country and beyond. So thank you all for joining us. And Mummy, over to you.
Well, but just before we start, something I would like to point out to you is something I'm really enjoying at the moment. Now, Timothy doesn't know I'm doing this, but I'm going to do a little sales thing for Timothy. If anybody is, like me, a bit of a romantic, do read Timothy's book, Timothy West. It's called Prue and Me, A Love Story. It is beautifully written. It's absolutely entrancing. It reminds me of what it was like struggling when you're first married. You know, back then, many of us I can see are my vintage. It's a gorgeous book by Timothy. So I just thought you'd like to know that bit. If some of you have to go off, just, you know, at the end, but I hope you don't, but before we can talk to you at the end of the concert, I would like to point out any forgotten Christmas presents we can solve for you, because we are making gift certificates for everybody. You can give bits of goats or whole goats or, you know, whatever you fancy. And we will make you beautiful Christmas certificates. So don't forget that. But I think it's now time to go across to St. Peter's, Eaton Square. I can hear that the choir is shuffling their feet. May I welcome you to the Kids for Kids Candlelit Christmas Concert 2023.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome to the Kids for Kids Candlelit Christmas Concert 2023. Isn't it lovely to be here and to get into the Christmas spirit? And haven't our volunteers in the church done a great job at decorating around the church? And of course, we're going to have many more decorations to come as we approach the Christmas season. I find it particularly special having just flown into London from Albania, and I won't make you envious by mentioning what temperature it was there this week. Fantastic start with the trumpets. Thank you, Roy and the Thames Fanfare Brass. And I'd also like to welcome our celebrity readers and supporters. Our patron, Timothy West, sends his special regards. He'd wanted to be a reader as usual, but he's been summoned to an event at the House of Lords that he couldn't escape. But we're particularly delighted that his wife, Prunella Scales, is able to join us again. Thank you, Prunella. A highlight of our Christmas concert is always hearing a reading from Joanna Lumley. And we're in for a treat tonight, because while we may miss Timothy, it means a double dose of dulcet tones from Joanna. And some peers may pull in one direction, but our other patron, Lord Cope and Lady Cope, are here with us this evening. And John, thank you for your steadfast support as patron and support for the children of Darfur. Our special thanks also go, of course, to the Queensgate School. And so, Amy Wallace, thank you so much as principal, and for the wonderful, brilliant choir. Great to have you with us again. And this year, we're very privileged to have with us our special guest this year, Bibi Heal. Bibi, thank you so much for joining. A world-renowned soprano, she has a special connection to Africa through her children, and we're delighted that she's agreed to sing for us tonight. I'm particularly looking forward also to Stephen Barlow playing the piano for us. As you may know, Stephen, as well as being connected to Joanna, is one of Britain's most outstanding conductors, often seen at opera houses around the country, as well as being composer and pianist. So we're in for some real musical treats. And now we're going to ask Federica, head girl of Queensgate Junior School, to light the candle of hope. A light that shines out our hope for a brighter future, for children and families in all places troubled by conflict and poverty, but particularly for the children in Darfur.
visit from St. Nicholas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a lustre of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly when they meet with an obstacle marked to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too, and then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
It's not too many, but it's enough. And on the 20th of December, she asked them, "Well, Mademoiselle, do you know what you would like for Christmas? Perhaps you would like a little sewing set, or some pocket handkerchiefs, or a box of powder, or perhaps a little tea set, or a fireman who plunges and swims." "No," they said, not. That's not what we want. We want a little sister, round and fat like a balloon, with a funny little nose and a mouth like a heart. We want a little sister. The following winter, Madame Moustache has 18 children. It's not too many, but it's enough. And she says to them, "Mademoiselle, what would you like for Christmas? Would you perhaps like a curly sheep, or some toothpaste, an alarm clock, maybe a tutu like the ballet dancers at the opera, or maybe a folding chair that you can put under your arm and carry? No. We want a little sister, round and fat like a balloon with a funny nose and a heart-shaped mouth. There are 19 children the following year. It's not too many, but it is enough. Christmas comes, and Madame Eustache says, have you decided, Mademoiselle, what you would like? Perhaps you would like eccentric games with motors and batteries. Perhaps an electric bear or a hippopotamus powered by steam. Perhaps for your postcards, a beautiful album or an automobile with pedals or maybe an aluminium ring. No, they say. No, we want twins. Two little sisters, exactly the same, with blonde hair and a funny nose. Mais bien, says Madame Eustache. It is too much, it may not be done. This year you shall have nothing.
by U.A. Fanthorpe, and it's called BC AD, Before Christ and Anno Domini. This was the moment when before turned into after, and the future's uninvented timekeepers presented arms. This was the moment when nothing happened, only dull peace sprawled boringly over the earth. This was the moment when even energetic Romans could find nothing better to do than counting heads in remote provinces. And this was the moment when a few farm workers and 3 members of an obscure Persian sect walked haphazard by starlight straight into the kingdom of heaven.
I think we've all been inspired to look out for St. Nick and his charming, maybe naughty little elves, Joanna, and also more seriously to think about the passing of moments, but also to watch out for asking children what requests they might want for Christmas. What a brilliant song. Thank you, Bibi and Stephen, or should I say, Madame and Monsieur Moustache. Now, they sometimes say that you have to sing for your supper, but tonight it's a bit different. You'll find gift aid envelopes on your pew or at the back. Do sign them and drop them in our baskets, please, before you leave, because gift aid, of course, means that your charitable donations go even further. You will have seen as you came in the sales table, gorgeous cuddly goats and other super Christmas presents, plus the chance to purchase gift certificates, the best gifts ever. Now, last year we actually ran out of cuddly toys, so you'll be delighted at how many goats there are at the back of the church. Just like those in Darfur, they seem to have multiplied. There are also badges and car stickers which are free, well, almost. We're actually hoping for generous donations, of course. Many organisations talk about sustainability, but one of the best things about Kids for Kids is how everything that we do is designed to be long-term. The best way that you can help is to make your support long-term too. In the programme, you have details of how to become a regular supporter, or maybe even a children's champion. You do get a rare gold goat like this one as a champion. And what if you want to win the Delamere Dairy hamper mentioned in the programme? Just text WIN HAMPER to 70215. But don't worry, if you're like me and can't remember numbers very well, then just turn to the back page of the programme. And my thanks and sincere greetings to Liz Sutton, our trustee, and Delamere Dairy for such unwavering support over so many years. And of course, you are all invited to join us for mulled wine and mince pies at the end of the concert behind the high altar. Thank you.
All across the world. This is a Christmas letter written from a war. It was written to his sister by someone I shall call Tom Atkins in a dugout in the British Army front line in France in 1914. A dugout is an underground shelter tunneled into the earth from the bottom of a deep trench. And this is what he wrote. Christmas Day, 1914. My dear sister Janet, it is 2 o'clock in the morning, and most of our men are asleep in their dugouts. Yet I could not sleep myself before writing to you of the wonderful events of Christmas Eve. While you and the family sang carols there in London, I did the same with some enemy soldiers here on the battlefields of France. There's been little serious fighting of late. The first battles of the war left so many dead that both sides have held back until replacements could come from home. So we have mostly stayed in our trenches and waited. But what a terrible waiting it's been. Knowing that at any moment an artillery shell might land and explode beside us in the trench, killing or maiming several men. And in daylight, not daring to lift our heads above ground for fear of a sniper's bullet. And the rain. It has fallen almost daily. And of course it collects right in our trenches, where we must bail it out with pots and pans. And with the rain has come mud, a good foot or more deep. It splatters and cakes everything, and constantly sucks at our boots. But through all this, we couldn't help feeling curious about the German soldiers across the way. Their first trench is only 50 yards from ours. Between us lies no man's land, bordered on both sides by barbed wire, yet close enough that we sometimes hear their voices. Of course, we hated them when they killed our friends, but at other times we joked about them and almost felt we had something in common. And now it feels they felt the same. Just yesterday morning, on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve Day, we had our first good freeze. And cold as we were, we welcomed it, because at least the mud froze solid. Everything was tinged with white, while a bright sun shone over all. Perfect Christmas weather. And during the day, there was little shelling or rifle fire from either side. And as darkness fell on Christmas Eve, the shooting stopped entirely. Our first complete silence in months. We hoped it might promise a peaceful holiday, but we didn't count on it. We'd been warned that the Germans might attack and try to catch us off guard. So I went to the dugout to rest, and lying on my bunk, I must have drifted asleep. And all at once my friend John was shaking me awake, saying, "Come and see what the Germans are doing." And I grabbed my rifle, stumbled out into the trench and stuck my head cautiously above the sandbags. "What is it?" I asked in bewilderment. And John answered, "Christmas trees." And so it was. The Germans had placed Christmas trees in front of their trenches, lit by a candle or lantern, like beacons of goodwill. And we heard their voices raised in song. And when the song finished, the men in our trenches applauded. Yes, British soldiers applauding Germans. And then one of our own men started singing, and we all joined in. To our astonishment, we saw two figures rise from the trench, climb over their barbed wire, and advance unprotected across no man's land. Across the way, we could make out groups of 2 or 3 men starting out of the trenches and coming toward us. Then some of us were climbing out too, and in minutes more, there we were in no man's land, over 100 soldiers and officers of each side, shaking hands with men that were being tried to kill just hours earlier. Still, one can't help imagine what would happen if the spirit shown here were caught by the nations of the world. Disputes always arise, but what if our leaders were to offer well wishes in place of warnings? All nations say they want peace, yet on this Christmas morning, I wonder if we want it quite enough. Your loving brother, Tom.
Our screens and newspapers are full of the horrors of the events unfolding in Israel and Palestine. I expect, like me, you're feeling huge sadness and frustration at our inability to stop such violence. But I suspect that each day you're not reading of the appalling murders, rapes and destruction in the very capital of Sudan and in Darfur. This is what is happening in Sudan, but the world has shut its eyes. The UN has called it, despite Palestine and Ukraine, the worst humanitarian disaster in the world today. Man's inhumanity to man is unimaginable to me, and I cannot bear it. The violence and extreme politics overtaking the world is not so far from us either. Our trustee, Khalid al-Mekki, had just said goodnight to his daughter at their home in Khartoum. She started upstairs, and a stray bullet shot through the window and hit the stairs between her legs. She might have been killed. The Rapid Support Force is being armed by the UAE, the army by Egypt. Clear violations of the UN embargo, yet there is no outcry. The 3 key people in Khartoum who keep kids out of politics and ensure that our funds are safeguarded have all had to flee their homes. Those homes, which are so similar to where you and I live, are now taken over by the Rapid Support Force. The army is shelling civilian houses like ours. My friends have nothing left, no homes to return to. Over 7 million people have fled Sudan, but many cannot flee. In Darfur, women and children face guns and rape. Many are being taken as slaves. African men are rounded up and slaughtered by Arab militia. There is evidence of mass graves. Human rights organisations are appealing to the world to urgently stop these crimes against humanity. I'm sure you hear this terrible news and feel helpless. We believe nothing can stop the horrific path of destruction. But is there anything we can do? I believe there is. We can, and we should, write to the government, to our MPs, to demand action. I also believe that if we can save just one child, then we have helped. Because that little child, like every one of these wonderful children here tonight, is loved. And yes, we can indeed save that child. You will know that violence started in 2002, 2 short years after we had started Kids for Kids. Now those same horrendous forces are rampaging across the region. But through everything, Kids for Kids quietly persisted in transforming lives on a day-to-day basis in villages across Darfur. Today, there are 110 Kids for Kids villages. Well over 500,000 people help to stay in their homes. Their children are going to school. Right now, a young woman is struggling to give birth, but she is not alone. Healthcare has virtually collapsed across Sudan, but in our villages, there's a midwife standing by, trained and skilled. That mother in a remote village of straw huts will live because you have helped us fund midwives in every one of our 110 villages. Her baby will live because of the milk provided by our little goats. They will have water brought by our donkeys from our hand pump close by. And that hand pump bears the name of someone you love. Amazingly, in the midst of such violence and challenges, out of the gaze of the world's media, our villages are growing. Families are seeking the help of our midwives. When their animals need veterinary care, our paravets are helping. Although government schools across the region, the whole country, are closed, our kindergartens are open and welcomed 1,000 children in September. When I was in Darfur, a village leader said to me, "We have given up hope in the international community, but not in Kids for Kids. You are there for us." In all the 23 years since Alistair and I founded Kids for Kids, despite all the challenges, we have found ways to provide life-saving, long-term help to the most deprived families in the world. We are not giving up now. Last year, at this time, I told you that the World Health Organization had warned that a third of the population across Sudan would face starvation. In Darfur, there were floods in August. There was no spraying of standing water, and mosquitoes swarmed. Last year, you may remember, I told you there were 4 children in every hospital bed suffering from malaria. Many of those children died because they were malnourished and couldn't fight the disease. This year, there are more mosquitoes. But this year, there were no children in the hospital beds because healthcare across the country has collapsed. Thankfully, our policy has been to provide mosquito nets to all our villages and to every village that's asked us for help. I've lost count of the thousands of mosquito nets alone that we have provided. It's the personal stories that affect me the most, not statistics. I think of Ibrahim, the young man whom we first met when he was just 9 years old, 23 years ago, struggling to carry a jerry can of water from his walk for water. It took him 7 hours to reach the hand pump. Every drop of water for his family collected by that one little lad. And I think of Ibrahim's little son now, who is at our kindergarten in their remote village. Thanks to us, thanks to you, he will have a future. We have always adopted as many villages as we can each year. I've chosen 5 villages to adopt this year, just as the violence erupted between the 2 generals. We will adopt those villages as soon as we can, but we do need the funds now, so that we can be ready. The immediate need is urgent life-saving aid. Khalid, our trustee, is now in Port Sudan. He and our project manager are coordinating our volunteers in Darfur. Yes, despite all their fears for their own families, they're determined to continue to help. We have sorghum, mosquito nets, jerry cans, veterinary drugs, and spare parts for hand pumps in warehouses right now. They're going to 16 of our villages. Then we will target 16 more. All our 110 Kids for Kids villages need us right now. The children and the people there need your help. But the exciting thing is that everything you provide, Joanna and 2 special friends have promised to double. There are no words. There are no words to thank her. What a blessing to have such an amazing patron. I also thank Davina, Charlotte and Becca, who, like me, are ready and waiting to send your Christmas presents for you. Who wouldn't want a little goat or a lumpy parcel of spare parts for a hand pump on Christmas morning? But don't worry, your eagerly awaited parcels will be smart Christmas certificates. Your little goat will be nibbling grass outside a little hut in Darfur. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for coming and showing your support. I appeal to each of you, please become a regular giver. If you can, could you become a children's champion, as Alistair explained? You choose your projects and commit to 3 years. That enables me to plan and not to let down the poorest people in the world. And do tell anyone you know that they can help too. The children are showing us that no one is too young to make a difference. The need is off the spectrum. The world is not listening, but you clearly are. You know about Ibrahim, the little boy who inspired all this. What an impact that one little child has had. Girls, you've sung stunningly beautifully tonight. Please support us through the year ahead. Please tell your friends in other schools, or when you move on, we will lose some of our wonderful singers, of course, because we're going to move on. Think of us throughout the year ahead. Tell your friends, and tell them they can do things too. You might challenge yourselves and get sponsorship. Grandparents are very generous. Have you thought of a walk for water? Though I'm not suggesting you walk for 7 hours and 7 hours back, which is what that little 9-year-old had to do every single day. If each of us here, right now, did something, just one thing, the impact would be huge. I did step-ups last month, and I actually raised enough for a midwife. Please tell the world of the violence in Darfur. Tell them that after all, we are not helpless. Those children need us, need you right now. May I wish you all a happy Christmas. And now is the time to bring the light to the world. And the girls come to light your candle. Please hold your candle still and true, and let your neighbour light theirs on it. Then hold yours steady too. In the midst of darkness, let us bring light to the world.
Chase away the darkness and May the Blessed Virgin Mary, the God-bearer, St. Joseph, and the whole company of heaven surround and enfold you in their strong and loving prayers. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, come down upon you and all those who love, this night and forever.
Each year on Remembrance Sunday in Tirana, the German ambassador and I come together to hold a service to show that we can overcome conflict and to remember those who have lost their lives and to think of those who continue to lose their lives if we fail to stop the violence wherever it happens around the world. If, like me, you love the snowman, the bleak midwinter and Mozart, then I hope you'll have been enjoying the wonderful feeling tonight that such lovely music inspires floating in the air. Thank you, Bibi. Thank you, Paulina, Fabiola, and Queen's Gate Choir, and to all our soloists and singers. Thank you all. I'd also like you to join me in giving a special thanks, please, for all our wonderful musicians, our trumpeters and brass, and in particular conductor Ian, organist Roger, sparkly pianist Mitra, and for my favourite instrument that I wish I could play, harpist Leslie, who played for us so beautifully as we came in and just now. It's also for all of the hard work by all the musicians and singers to prepare for the concert this year. And as every year, that is much appreciated. Thank you for your generosity and superb musicality. And we need to thank our volunteers as well. And they really put their love and care in to make tonight special. And we heard from Patricia what a special major opportunity we have through our Christmas doubling campaign. So any donations made either tonight or any time up to the 31st of December will be doubled. Dame Joanna Lumley, you are an amazing patron. Because of you and your two special friends, the amount we donate tonight will be doubled, and if we can raise donations all the way up to £27,500, that sum will be doubled, generating a huge £55,000. We heard from Patricia how much our help is needed now, right now. Just think of the impact and real Christmas and New Year presents we could give to children in Darfur if we reach our Christmas doubling total. So if you're stuck for a Christmas present, or if after Christmas you or your family feel like sharing the glow from what I hope will be a lavish Christmas meal, then you or your friends still have time to contribute to the Kids for Kids Christmas doubling campaign. And the fun doesn't end tonight. You will see our online version of this concert will be on Thursday, the 14th of December. Another chance to hear this extraordinary music and to join in. And do remember that if you have tickets for tonight, you get a special rate of just £5 to join online. And do please encourage other friends who cannot be with us tonight to participate next Thursday. Persuade just one friend and think of what a difference that will help you and them make to children in Darfur. Now please donate in the baskets that come round, or the ones at the back. Donate in the gift aid envelopes. If you want to make card donations, please go to the back of the church and you'll find the wonderful Charlotte or Davina, our core team, who've done a brilliant job in organising tonight and our wonderful programme. And of course, don't forget that you can buy our gift certificates to give not just someone in the UK, Europe or the States, but also a child in Darfur the perfect present for Christmas. After we've heard the last fanfare, I look forward to talking to you over mulled wine and mince pies, and please do think of suggestions for how we can each do more to spread the word. Most importantly, may I wish you all a very happy Christmas.
everybody. Can you hear me? I need to know if you can all hear me. I wanted to say how wonderful that was. You know, it's fabulous hearing it after I've actually done it, because it actually means that I can listen properly, though I'm not sure about listening to myself. Look, everybody's been invited to join in with mulled wine. This is the moment, everybody. Everybody at the concert came behind, mulled wine and mince pies. I'm afraid I've eaten my mince pie. But here we go. So I'm having my go at it. Now,
Cheers.
thank you for staying on, so many of you. Really lovely to see you. Sir, you did awfully well. I wanted to say I was really touched at, you know, hearing you again. Because, of course, when I'm at the concert, I'm worrying about what's coming next. Will it work? Oh, my goodness, has the vicar got the taper for the candles and so on? So that's quite scary.
But Mummy, I'm going to just suggest something, if I may, because I've just spotted somebody I didn't realise was going to be joining this evening. You just mentioned vicars, and that's our friend Joanna Udall, who was in Sudan when I was there. And I'm going to ask if Joanna would like to say a word or two, and about maybe, Joanna, your experiences of Sudan.
Well, I'll send greetings. I'm joining you from Oslo, and it's wonderful to be able to catch up on the online version of it. It sounds like an incredible event on the real thing, and it's lovely. Thank you for sharing it like this as well. And I'd love to say, because I was in Sudan 8 years. I was based in Khartoum at the time. Alistair was based there, and then after that as well. And it's incredible the work that Kids for Kids has been able to do, and it's so inspiring. And Patricia, I'd already read your message. Thank you for sending it out before I then heard you deliver it. But so it had double impact, and it is so fantastic. So I think everyone could be really encouraged by what can be done with all of these communities participating in incredibly difficult circumstances. So it is a wonderful thing that's been happening. So God bless you, and may it go from strength to strength. And lovely to join you.
Joanna, I've been watching where you've been going across the world, and you've done amazing things. And it's so nice because you actually see one of our trustees, don't you, or former trustees?
Yes.
So often, yes, which is lovely. So it's really, really good.
After one of these carol services, we had a Oslo, a Norway reunion of Kids for Kids supporters, which was lovely.
Brilliant.
We discovered we were in the same country.
Isn't it extraordinary? There's something about Kids for Kids that reaches across barriers. Even in Sudan, when there have been literally people, well, at one dinner we had, one of our president, honorary president, was actually accompanied by another honorary president who had actually put him in jail. And they walked up to the podium hand in hand. It was absolutely extraordinary, completely extraordinary. I just basically appealed to both of them for the love of children. And I think that's what that concert was about, don't you think? I think the concert showed how everybody really cares. And that doesn't matter what color they are, what religion they are, what race they are, absolutely nothing. It's our future, isn't it? The future of the world is the children. And I just feel so blessed by everybody. It's like to say anything. I can see.
Move on, I'm just going to say thank you to Joanna, but also just for others' relevance, Joanna was the Archbishop of Canterbury's representative in Sudan, so has a very special connection with Sudan, as well as both your father and grandfather having been in Sudan. So a real family history of contributing to Sudan's development. But finally, and most importantly, Joanna and I still co-own a piano in Sudan that I left with Joanna, and she then gifted to the children in her street. And so somewhere in Sudan there may be a piano if it hasn't been shot at or destroyed. Joanna, thank you very much.
That's extraordinary. Pianos have haunted us a bit. I've been badgering Alistair to get a piano in Albania, but he's only got a very small electronic one, so not absolutely ideal. Look, I can just see that Becca is there. Becca, I wanted to say hello and introduce you to everybody because Becca has joined us, as has joined Davina and Charlotte. So Becca, hello. Can you unmute yourself?
Becca, welcome to the team.
Hello. I'm here with my mum. Hello.
Lovely to meet you, Mummy.
Thank you for having such a wonderful daughter who's now supporting my mother and Kids for Kids as my mother's personal assistant. Becca, welcome.
Brian's even got his red jumper on.
Very good.
Oh, look. Becca has two dogs,
Brian
not just one.
Come here.
I have to say that my little dog is absolutely sprawled on the sofa. And the only time she lifted her head, I don't know if you've noticed, I was actually singing. And every time I sang, she lifted her head, and I'm not sure if she was smiling, but she didn't run away. So that was good. I've just tried to let somebody in who's
that
actually...
was Marie.
Yes, Marie.
Anyway,
Marie,
Becca, thank you.
Marie, is she there? Has she come in? Has it worked? Marie, are you there? You are there, Marie. Marie, we need your... Can you move your screen so we can see you, please?
Can
you move...
I can try. Hold on a minute.
Does
that work better?
There you are, Marie.
Hey,
Marie?
Alistair, how are you? Good to see you.
Very well. Now, Marie, you have to tell everyone where you're joining us from.
From Pacific Grove in California.
Well, amazing that you've been able to. Thank you.
Marie, how many years have you supported Kids for Kids?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
What an amazing thing you did at St. Gabriel's School. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, we loved every minute of it when we were doing it. It was great. Sorry. I'm on the phone with you because I wanted to see you, but I'm also trying to deal with a problem with my Comcast, my internet.
Yeah.
Anyway, we didn't get to see the program because of the time. But
shame.
We'll send you the video. We'll get Charlotte can send you the video. But Marie's been amazing because you've been coordinating all of our US volunteers and donations and activities. And Marie, you've been such a wonderful support over many, many years.
Oh, well, I love you guys. You know that. You're wonderful. I love everything you do. And I do keep trying to get people involved. But, since I'm not at the school and things are different. But it looks like you've done well with the concert. That's amazing.
Concert was beautiful, actually, Marie. It really was. I have to say to everybody who's joined online, it's been a treat, I think, this evening. But I have to tell you that actually being there is really quite special. And I'm always in the front, which isn't the best place to be, actually. But I love turning round and seeing those candles lit one by one across the church. It's absolutely magical. Would anyone else like to say anything, or shall we raise our glasses to Christmas and to each other and just say thank you to everybody? I'd like to say anything before we finish.
Feel free to unmute yourself at this point if you would like to say anything. Otherwise, waves and cheers. Thank you,
somebody's saying they had a lovely time, and thank you to everybody. Look, mute yourselves, can you, so that we can all say Happy Christmas to each other. Can you all do that?
Yes.
So that we can hear you all.
Happy
there we go.
Happy
Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas.
To see each of you next year.
Yes.
Happy Christmas.
Thank you so much for joining.
All blessings.
Lovely to see you all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. And well done. Terrific.